News here. One of the victims in the King Sooper shooting taking legal action nearly 2 years after the gunman opened fire inside that Boulder grocery store. Suzanne Fountain's son filing a lawsuit in Connecticut, I should say, against the manufacturer that made the gun used in that shooting.
If the family of the victims of the Waukesha, Wisconsin SUV attack were to sue the SUV manufacturer, they would be laughed out of court. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel, like my content, you can subscribe, or basically donate to me through the links in the description box, but also subscribing definitely helps. But everything is in the description box. But let's talk about this. Now, if you remember, what's happening now was basically a roadmap set by what happened when the Sandy Hook families sued Remington. Now, remember, Remington did not settle. I'm going to make that clear again. Remington did not settle. The insurance companies settled with the victims because they came out, and several of the families came out publicly and told the new owner of the Remington brand to stay out of the way of their lawsuit. Remington did not settle. But that has opened the floodgates, as we know, because we have what happened at Robb Elementary. We got Daniel Defense being sued, and also another event where the gun manufacturer is being sued. But here's another case, and this one's very bizarre, how they went about this. Now, I'm gonna make myself clear right from the beginning. I think this is absolute stupidity. How do you blame the manufacturer? Because we don't blame the manufacturer for other forms of nefarious death. Like somebody who's stabbed to death for turning on a prom date, do we sue the knife? We can't do that. But because of the atmosphere and the environment we've created around ownership of specific firearms, it makes it easier because you can get the public on your side emotionally and they can just throw their logic out the door when they do it. But what's happening here is a son who lives in Connecticut, this son lives in Connecticut, is suing Sturm Ruger for the March 21st, or March 2021 shooting, I believe it was on the 21st, shooting of his mother at a King supermarket store in Colorado that happened in 2021. It's very interesting how they got, the mental gymnastics they use to bring this lawsuit forward. But they're suing Sturm Ruger. The son who lives in Connecticut is suing Sturm Ruger, claiming, once again, using the same angle as the Sandy Hook victims or the families used, by saying that Ruger advertised their firearm in an immoral way. Hey, you know what? You're going to have to ask them because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. This is the two lawyers who brought the suit forward. And like I said, boy, the mental gymnastics is amazing. Okay, I have to play the whole thing because I want the context, so bear with me.
You're watching CT23 with Eric Parker.
Welcome back. A Connecticut gunmaker is being sued in the death of a Colorado woman named Suzanne Fountain, who was killed in a mass shooting while shopping at her local grocery store 2 years ago this month. Joining me to outline the case are attorneys representing her son, Nathaniel Getz. They are Ryan McKean and Andrew Ranks from the Connecticut trial firm. Thank you both for being here with us. We saw a similar effort coming out of the Sandy Hook shooting. Now we're talking about a shooting that happened back in 2021 at a King Sooper supermarket in Boulder, Colorado. I have the complaint here in my hand. We have a Connecticut case, two Connecticut lawyers. How does this case end up here?
We were contacted by lawyers out in Colorado who were looking for a firm on behalf of the victims of this to bring exactly this case. And so they gave us a call. We looked at the law, we looked at the case, and we decided to bring it.
So in this...
Okay, so let's understand what they did here. A Colorado law firm contacted a Connecticut law firm who could then use Connecticut's Fair Trade and Practices Act, if I'm not mistaken, is what it's called, to use the law in Connecticut because Colorado doesn't have it. So they reached out to a Connecticut firm to then bring the case to Connecticut to use the same, like I said before, the same angle as the Newtown people did in their lawsuit. So this tells me that there's a cabal of lawyers across the country who do this, who seek out states that have certain laws they can exploit, because the PLCAA would prevent all this right at the jump, but they're coming in from a different angle. They come in from saying it's not so much that they made the product, it's the way that they advertised it. In Connecticut, you know, you have to be careful how you advertise things. I guess in Connecticut, you can't show a Jeep jumping over the dune, because if somebody does it and kills themselves, you can sue the Jeep manufacturer claiming that, well, their advertising practices are immoral. It's asinine, but...
So in this case, you're suing Sturm Ruger and Company. They're the maker of the firearm. Andrew, tell me about the leap you have to make. And we saw this in that Sandy Hook case. You're obviously not saying that they're responsible by their actions for the death as far as like on the day of the shooting. It's what they did in their advertising? Explain it.
Correct. So using the precedent that we have from the Sandy Hook
exploiting the precedent set by the Sandy Hook. Remember, Sandy Hook trial against Remington, the families against Remington never went to trial. It was settled by the insurance companies. That's an important part that he's going to leave out.
Case where the families from the Sandy Hook shooting brought cases against Bushmaster and Remington as a result of those shootings. We're using what's called the Connecticut Unfair Trade Practices Law, which says that a company can be responsible if their marketing in such a way contributes to something like this, that causes harm to people. And we believe...
Okay, anybody out there, when have you ever seen a gun manufacturer advertise a product saying, buy our product and go kill a lot of people? Because anything other than that, if you take a product and go kill somebody with it, well, I'm sorry, you're an asshole. But to say that the company shows the product and then says that's the reason why this happened, why the shooting happened, is once again asinine. I have never, 20 years of retail gun sales, I have never seen a manufacturer put out an ad where they glorify you going out and killing someone else. But that's the mental gymnastics that they're playing here.
We believe, based on our investigation and the information that we have, that the marketing for this particular weapon did contribute to what happened out in Boulder.
Well,
Okay, show us the advertising. Specifically, what advertisement specifically are they pointing at? Specifically, what advertisement?
say in your pleadings that they glorified a lone gunman, they glorified assaults, they made a weapon that you say was designed to kill as many people as fast as possible. I thought it was interesting here in the complaint, hold it up there, you have pictures of the gun, you have pictures of the weapon that they manufactured and marketed and sold. What do you hope to accomplish, Ryan, by bringing this case? Is it a bigger issue than obviously just the family you represent?
Yeah, the families, or the family or families, they really want accountability. They don't want this.
No, they want money. That's what civil lawsuits are about. It's about getting paid. Okay. Let's just keep it 100. It's about getting paid. That's why you sue for money. Okay? Spare me that. Justice, accountability. Nope. It's about getting paid.
To happen to anyone again. And, you know, they understand.
And it will happen to other people again because they will not do what is actually necessary to prevent these things from happening. I did a video not too long ago where Ted Cruz brought forward a school safety bill to allow them to use COVID funds for security on the schools, and the Democrats, every single Democrat, voted against it. They could use the COVID money that they already had for enhancement of security in school. Democrats voted against it. They don't want to solve the problem because they want these things to keep happening so they can keep pushing gun control and keep suing manufacturers with these willy-nilly lawsuits. That's what this is about.
Anytime any of us walk into a supermarket, by the grace of God, it could be us. And they want some accountability specifically on the gun makers for the marketing of this specific product.
And you know the arguments, Andrew, that you're going to hear. We've heard them anytime anything like this happens, that it's not the gun maker, it's the bad actor. I mean, we have a suspect who was arrested in this case, a 23-year-old shooter facing 100 counts. He's been found not competent to stand trial. People are going to say, you're barking up the wrong tree here. It's his fault, not the gun maker. How do you respond to that argument?
Yeah, well, it's certainly he was responsible for his actions, but everyone is responsible for their own actions and what contributed to something like this. And in particular with this gun that is shown in our complaint, it was marketed as a pistol, an AR-556 pistol. However, we have information that suggests that Sturm Ruger took advantage of regulations to find loopholes in order to get this particular type of weapon into people's hands, like the person in Colorado who committed this.
An AR pistol is 100% legal. There's they don't have to jump through loopholes to sell it. There's nothing illegal about it as far as the ATF is concerned. This is the mental gymnastics I was talking about. This guy is playing lawyer right now. Logic is no consequence here. He is playing lawyer.
This atrocity.
I know you've been in contact with other families involved in this same shooting, so we'll wait and see what happens on that front. We did reach out to Sturm Ruger and ask them to comment. We did not hear back from an attorney for them.
Okay, let's come out of there. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I put this link in the description box. It's like 8 minutes long. I don't want to make this video too long. All I see here, and once again, this is my opinion, I can say alleged, is a concerted effort around the country to bankrupt the gun industry, specifically, because they can't do it through the courts, because the court is now starting to side with the Constitution as it is written, and they're freaking out. The Bruin decision has them in a panic. So they're going about different ways to undermine the gun companies and gun manufacturers. And this is just another way to do it. We sue them every time one of their products is used nefariously. Now, we don't give a damn about you if you get run over by an SUV or a Home Depot truck or a box truck like they did in Canada where 21 people lost their lives. We don't care about you there. But if you're shot, we're going to come out and look for accountability and justice for you. It's a crock. But that's the game. And hopefully soon, maybe 2024, we'll get the majority, we'll get the White House, and we'll have Republicans who are actually conservatives have the cojones to stand up and say, this is garbage, we're passing legislation to stop stupid crap like this. That's all we can really hope for. Because other than that, they're going to keep doing it. And more than likely, Sturm Ruger will probably settle out of court, but it's going to cost them millions to do it. They're trying to undermine and bankrupt the gun companies with frivolous lawsuits like this one, like the many more that are coming up, and the ones we've already seen. And it's really a shame that we've become so much of a cowardly society that we won't do what truly is necessary. We don't hold criminals accountable anymore. We hold the general public to a higher standard. We let people run wild in the streets. I mean, there's things that are going on. You just got to look to Chicago and what I'm talking about here. It's just amazing the flip-flop this society has really undermined itself. But I'll leave the links in the description box. I'll even leave another link here where it goes in a little bit more description of what's actually going on in. And expect more of this. Now, realize it's only going to happen. These lawsuits will only come around when it fits the narrative, when they can use emotion to push it through. Other than that, if you die any other way, they don't give a damn about you. And they've shown that already multiple times. Just remember, Biden still has not gone to Nashville. We still have not seen the manifesto from the Nashville shooter. Today is the 18th. That event was on the 28th. We still have not seen it. That tells you everything you need to know. This is just literally, this is just the most amazing propaganda scam ever. But hey, you know what? These guys are getting involved because there's money at the end. 40% of whatever comes in, you know you can always find a lawyer for that. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.